Hey guys, welcome. Today I'm here to talk about my new project for 2024. As you can see, this rust bucket in front of you. This is also another project it's also part of 2024, but we're not here to talk about that one. We're here to talk about this one. So this car is a 1992 Camaro. Just to give you a little backstory on it, I got this car my graduating year of high school back in 2009. Yeah, of course, it definitely looks like it. Got this car off a kid who went to Wyotek in Long Beach. Picked it up for $800. RS model, but it had a 305 TVI in it with a 4-speed automatic. Drove that around a little bit, kind of like my first car, one of those cars that likes to die on you all the time and act stupid. I've actually crashed it, but these old school cars are made like tanks, so it took the hit pretty well. There's a dent on that side on the right hand side of the car, so it happens. Hopefully we get that fixed. Actually, hopefully we get all of this fixed. So after that, a few years later after I bought it, did a 5-speed swap on it. So drilled the holes for the master and the slave and got the T5 transmission, of course the flywheel and clutch. Pretty easy setup, pretty easy to put together. Drove that a while, had fun with it. Took off the muffler and catalytic converter, and things sounded pretty good. Was just horrible in gas. So after driving that a while, had fun with it. I ended up locking up the transmission in third gear, so it kind of sat. And then while it sat and I looked for a transmission, I picked up an LS1 for about $800 out of a WS6 Trans Am 2002 model, and started building that and parting and piecing together the LS1 swap for a third gen Camaro. So while I was getting that together, I couldn't find a T56 for a reasonable price, and being a student trying to survive and eat and get to work, it was kind of hard to afford one of those. So it went back to a 4060E, and the LS1 went in the car, which is in here right now. So it's been sitting a while in my friend's backyard for about 6, going on 7 years. As you can tell, yeah, definitely looks like it. So lift this heavy ass hood, and there goes the motor put together. So a little dirty. It's been sitting out in the backyard in the elements. But luckily these cars are made like tanks. The motor just definitely looks like a Spider Hotel. Probably just needs a lot of rinsing and washing and cleaning up, and then we'll make this look pretty again. This was definitely a first project for me, so it's kind of one of those things where you're just, it's your first time doing something and you see how it goes and you learn from your mistakes. Kind of did a better job on this car. We're still learning with the wiring, of course, but this one actually runs. But back to this one. So the goal is for 2024, take my time with it. Of course, everything on the body is probably going to go bye-bye that I can dispose of. This is a T-top model too, so I'm trying to save these things and keep them on the road. But yeah, I would definitely love to have this car back on the street as like a summertime vehicle, and cruise it to the beach and whatnot. So fenders and everything will come off, and then wheels and tires will come off, and then the rear end is actually off of a 2002 Camaro. So it has the 4th gen rear end on it with disc brakes that we're going to redo. Probably put bigger brakes on it, of course. I also plan on redoing the interior of this car, make it a little bit more modern. Yeah, you don't really see too many of these things on the street in good condition. You do see the raggedy beat up one smoking, burning oil. So my goal is to actually make this an eye catcher and head turner. I got a lot planned for this car. It's just I got to figure out between 2 jobs, school, and one of those jobs requires me to leave sometimes. So I got to figure out scheduling and budget when it comes to this thing, because believe it or not, I believe this car is going to be a lot more expensive to work on than this one over here. So this is actually the drift car over here. Still learning, still practicing. I actually want to get this one out on the track more. This one I would like to make a shootable car, but at the same time have some drift elements to it. Like I plan on putting a hydraulic e-brake in there and modifying the suspension on this thing. So the whole front end probably get a tubular K member on here, lighten it up and make it easy to access the motor mounts and make it easy to adjust the suspension on this thing. So I figured 2024. Actually, I've been trying to get this car in this garage for a while now. It was just conflicting schedules with my friend to get it out of his backyard, and finally I got it. So hopefully this is the year that this thing gets back on the road. I love this car when it was running. I know most people like, damn, this thing's ugly, it sounded like crap, it smelled like crap, but it was mine, and that's why I loved it. And I believe it. I'm not gonna even say second chance, but I believe this thing deserves a third or fourth chance. So I know a little bit more now than I knew back then when I first started working on it. Know how to do things better and correctly and not Mickey Mouse shit totally. So that's my plan for this car. So hopefully it doesn't sit here and then rust some more and actually sees another life on the road. So we're going to bring this thing back from the dead. So that's my plan with this car. And it's kind of one of those things where it's like somebody tells you you shouldn't, or you can't, or it won't. And it's one of those things being petty, which I'm going to do, and I can, and I will. So we'll see. That's my promise. All right. So thank you guys. Hope this was a little interesting. I'm not really a good vlogger. I'm practicing and just putting things out there so people can see. And don't give up on your projects. I know sometimes it takes time, it takes money, but don't give up on them. Just keep trying. You'll get it.